Hi everyone, this is Ranjan. I'm welcoming you all to my channel QA automation classes. So in the last session, we have completed the functional interface. The questions are related to the functional interface. What are the content allowed inside the functional interface? And what is the default method? What is the static and overridden methods? We have discussed. And then we have discussed in detail about the lambda expression and what are the different parts of the lambda expression. Those we have completed, and today we are going to look into the streams. So if you see here streams, I have collected these 9 questions, and these are we are going to discuss in today's session. So what are Java 8 streams? Okay. So Java 8 stream, it is an interface, and through it, it enables the functional style of the operation via the lambda on the collection object. So that collection object is nothing but the data source for us. Okay. On the data source, we can use the processing or the non-terminal methods to process the data. And we use map or filter. These are non-terminal methods or the processing methods. And then we use the single terminal method like collect to stop the further execution and collect or print the result, right? If we use collect, then we are just going to collect that in the form of the another collection, or we can use for each, okay, which is another terminal operation which is going to print the values on the system console. Okay, so this is what is the Java 8 stream. So the next thing is what are non-terminal or processing or intermediate operation. So as I told you, so the non-terminal or processing or the intermediate operations, so these are applied on the data source and transfers the data into a stream. Okay, so they are lazily evaluated. That means they will not get executed till a terminal operation is invoked. I'll say the on the collection object dot map dot something. I'll write something inside that. I'll like, let me find the square of even number n, like n into 2, right? So whatever n into n, whatever I write that inside the map method or the filter method, that are not at all going to get evaluated unless and until we give a non-terminal method apply on it. Okay, so that's how we do the those are called as the non-terminal or the processing method. And we can have any number of the non-terminal methods that can be chained. You might have seen, like, we have applied the filter, we have applied map, right, combinedly. So if you see, so that those are nothing but the chaining of the methods, like multiple non-terminal methods can be chained together. Okay, and the intermediate operations are mostly we use the lambda functions over there. Okay, so that is nothing but the non-terminal or processing or the intermediate functions. Okay, and now coming to the terminal operations. So terminal operation, it actually starts the stream execution. So I only told, right, so the lazy evaluation, if it is going to be evaluated lazily when we have the terminal operation is only applied on top of it. Okay, so terminal operation starts the stream execution and used to collect the process stream of data. It stops the execution and no other operation can be performed. As it is terminal, we cannot perform any other operation after this. Okay, so there can be few example of the processing of the non-terminal method. So filter, map, distinct, limit, skip, peek, flatmap. These are kind of the non-terminal operations. And different types of terminal operation, we have collect, and we have count, mean, max, anyMatch, nonemAtch, allMatch, and as I told you, for each is there and for each ordered. Okay, so this is nothing but called as our terminal and the non-terminal methods. So I'll do one thing, I'll list them out so that it will be easy for you to understand or remember. So let's see, the non-terminal methods are like the filter, and then map, and then distinct, filter, map, distinct, limit, skip, peek. Okay, limit, skip, peek, and we also have the flat maps, right? Flat map. So these are nothing but the intermediate or the non-terminal processing methods. And similarly, the terminal methods, if you see the example of the terminal methods will be collect. So terminal method, what it does, it is in starts the processing, right? And it will, after applying the terminal method, we cannot do any more operation. Terminal means that is the end of it, okay? That is the last operation that has to be performed on a stream. So we can use the collect, and then we can use count, mean, right? Mean, max, and we have anyMatch, non-match, anyMatch, allMatch, okay, allMatch and non-match. These are the terminal operations. And then if you have seen in last video, we have used the different methods like for displaying on the console, right? So we have for each and for each ordered, each ordered. So these are the methods which we have. Okay, hope it is clear, guys, right? And similarly, we have one more concept like stateful intermediate operation. So you know the intermediate operation we just now discussed, right? So non-terminal operations are the intermediate operation, but there are some operations which are stateful in nature. Okay, so stateful means the state has to be maintained. You cannot lose the state of the whatever element or object, whatever we have, we cannot lose the state. So those are called as the stateful intermediate operation. In order to go till the completion of the intermediate operation, some state is to be maintained, and such intermediate operations is called as the stateful intermediate operation. And if we have to do the parallel execution happens in parallel. So in case of the stateful operation, it is going to be very difficult, right? It is going to be complex because parallel execution, it doesn't mind the statefulness of the things, right? So that is the problem. So we cannot use the parallel execution there. So example will be sorted. When you are going to sort a particular stream and you are going to find the distinct or limit or skip, so better not to use the parallel execution in those cases. Okay, so which that is nothing but the stateful intermediate operation. So let me list them out also. So I'll say sorted, and then distinct, limit and skip. Distinct, then limit and skip. Okay, so these many methods are there called as the stateful intermediate operation. And make sure you do not apply the parallel operation. It's a bit complex actually. Okay, you can apply the parallel execution, but we don't know if the result will be accurate or not. Okay, so now let's go to the next question. What is an optional class, right? So optional class, you might have seen in my previous video, I have given you the example also. So optional class is nothing but a container. Okay, what does the container do? It contains some value. Okay, so optional class which may or may not contain a non-null value. If the value is present, we have a method called isPresent. It will return true. And if no value is present, right, the object will be considered as the empty. And when you use the isPresent method, I'll say isPresent method. So this present method, if value is present, object is present, it will give true. If it is not present, it will give the false. So that's why it is present method. And this optional is going to encapsulate the value, that is null or non-null values, which helps in avoiding the null checks. Okay, and it is a kind of the wrapper around the object, and it is going to return an object instead of a value. So that's why what we do, we are going to use the get, right? So get method on top of it to get the actual value. And it can be used to avoid the runtime null pointer exception. Why? Because just now we discussed it helps in it is kind of the it is a kind of wrapper, right? And it wraps around the object and returns an object instead of a value. It is going to return an object. It is not going to return any specific value. It is going to return an object. Okay. So, and this can be used to avoid the runtime null pointer exceptions. Okay. So that is nothing but the optional class, and the method is isPresent method. Okay. It is going to present the object, not the value. So which will be helpful in avoiding the runtime null pointer exception. So now next one is the what is the pick method. Pick method is nothing but is the method in the stream class which allows you to see through a stream pipeline. So you can have a look into the stream pipeline, what is happening over there. Okay, so you can peek through the each step, and what is happening in the each step you can peek through it, and you can, if you want to print, you can print them on the console. Mostly for the debugging purposes this is going to be used. Okay, so now the next thing is value of expression. This is one of the important concept which everyone should understand. And this value of expression, what exactly is that? It is a static method reference, okay, to the value of method of the string class. So this value of expression belongs to the string class as the static method reference. Okay, so similarly it similarly we have system.out double colon println, right? That is also one more value I can say. System.out double colon, so println, your system is a class, so it should be caps. Okay, so this is also right. If you see, this is also the println is also a static method reference to the println method of the out object of the system class. So what it is going to return, it returns the corresponding string representation of the argument that is passed. The argument can be character, integer, boolean, anything. There are so many different types of the argument we can pass. Okay, so that is nothing the value of the expression. If someone asks you what is the value of the expression, you can say is the static method reference to the value of method of the string class. Okay, so now the next one is the string joiner. So what exactly is the string joiner? So as the name specifies, string joiner is used to join multiple strings, and it was introduced in the Java 8. Okay, so we can see one example for the string joiner. Let me create one new class. Let's say string joiner. So now let's say main method. Let's have multiple strings. Okay, so let's say string joiner. Okay, string joiner, and say string joiner equals to, you can say new string joiner, new string joiner, and we have to see the character sequence of the delimiter. I'll see. Okay, let's say the delimiter I'm going to give the comma. When the multiple strings, those are separated by comma, I want to join them. Okay, so first you have to declare the string joiner sj equals to new string joiner. I think we can import this one. No need to write java.util here. Okay, yeah, let's import this one. What is this? Okay, so we have to import. Let's say import java dot util dot string joiner. Okay, so import, sorry, java dot util dot, let's see, dot should list out string joiner. Okay, so this is what we need to import, and after importing we'll say string joiner class something. Okay, and let me rename it. Okay, to rename file. Okay, string joiner class. So now what we are saying here, string joiner sj equals to new string joiner, delimiter is comma, so I am going to add this comma separated value. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the element to it. So sj dot add. So what I'm going to add, let's say alpha, okay, and then similarly we can have the multiple elements here, strings here. Let's copy, okay. So alpha, then say beta, gamma, delta, okay. So let's say we have alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. So these four. So now I am going to use the string joiner. So this is already getting added with the string joiner, and we are okay. So this comma delimiter is, it will separate by comma only. Okay. So let me just print out s out. So now you say sj. Okay. So now let's go and print it. So it will join all these strings, and it will separate them with comma. Okay, if you see alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. So if you see, these are all individual strings, and these individual strings are going to get joined with the in the object sj string joiner, and the delimiter is comma. So we can separate them by comma. If you have the requirement to separate them by some other special character, you say uh, pipe or something, we can do that one also. So let's say pipe. So now if you want to run this one, so it will be separated by the pipe. Alpha, pipe beta, pipe gamma, pipe delta. So this is how it is going to work. Okay. So, and we're down to the last question. What is Nashorn in Java 8? So the Nashorn in Java 8 is a Java based engine, and it is used for executing and evaluating the JavaScript code. Okay. So I think you guys are clear. If you guys have any questions, being like comment, put that in your comment. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So after this, we will see some hands-on practice on the programs. We will practice some of the Java 8 related programs. We'll be writing that in the IntelliJ, and the theoretical question and answers are over. So now we have to do some hands-on practice through some actual programs, which we'll see in the next class. Thank you everyone. If you like my videos, please do subscribe to my channel and share with your friends and colleagues. So we'll meet again in the next session. Thank you. Bye.